Okay, Sagittarius, here's your reading. Spiritual reading for the month of March 2021. House of Wisdom, Wisdom, House of Night. Dreams of Gaia, TLC for the Soul, Tarot of the Divine, are just some of the decks I'm coming from here. So we'll start out with the Dreams of Gaia deck. First card we get, again, Sagittarius. 13 of Earth, Queen of Earth. So that is a very ground, stable energy. It is out of your element. You are a fire. So we're feeling a lot more stable, a lot more grounded, a lot more balanced than we normally are as a fiery sign of Sagittarius, right? We're very adventurous. We're feeling no wanderlust here. We just want to stay still and be calm. Okay, this is not a bad energy, really. Like I said, it is out of your element, but not uncomfortable at this time. I feel like there's a reason that it's there, okay? To help us, to help us sense it. The calmness, right? And the next card we get, the Scribe, 12 of Air. The Scribe is the note taker. Yeah, he's got like a ribbon coming out of his mouth with all of the symbols of speaking, like speaking and talking and note-taking. Just give me a minute here. A lot of wisdom within this Scribe. So there may be... So we're out of our element. We may be so much so that we are taking high note of this time that we have here, because we are calm, cool, and collected. We may be actually literally taking down notes where we just were up, moving, and shaking before. Now we're staying still and jotting things down. That can be literally or figuratively. In the mind, note taking that, okay, wait a minute. What have I done here? You know, stopping to smell the roses. This is an energy that's kind of wafting in and out of my consciousness at this time of doing readings here. So pushed by the universe to do this in order to make us recognize things. It's working. They're recognizing things is what they're saying. So this is what the Scribe is all about. We may not be literally note-taking, but our mind is taking mental notes of, wait a minute, I'm calm, cool, and collected, and I'm looking at my universe around me, and I'm noticing things here, and this is what really this is intended for. Now, as we move on to the next card, we have the Four of Water. And the Four of Water is a very interesting card. Again, water, it brings with it emotion, but here, this guy's looking in a mirror, and there's a lot of oddities. One, there's an eye here that's blanked out in white, and another one that's normal, as I would perceive it. There's a significance here to that. Like, we're blinded in one eye. Give me a minute. Really what they're conveying to me is the intuition, right? Because they have the third eye open on the mirror, but the guy's, you know what I mean? He's missing. It's almost like we haven't attached to that yet. Or we haven't claimed that, the right to do that yet. So it may be something in our belief system. We may not believe in clairvoyance. We may not believe in all that hoodoo voodoo stuff. We may not believe in intuition to the degree that we shut it out. Okay, there's a certain amount that filters through unaware of the Sagittarian here. But there's a certain amount that we are blind to, and this will hinder us greatly in the future if we don't open up to it. Now, again, there's this self-perception here. Give me a minute to tap into that. Yeah, we need to know how we are. Because they're going, the mirror is the universe shining it in their face. They need to look at themselves and how they create their universe. Because there's keys here as to how to make it better. Because we have to look at ourselves in order to fix the problems that we're coming across. Because we're creating half of that. They're going, we got a blind eye here. And then we got one that's seeing, well, that's only half truths, right? The other half is stuff that we contribute that we're not looking at. So this is the mirror. The universe is going to mirror things back to you. So how's that going to happen? They could put people in your field that one are very much like you. And this may bother you. It may trigger your weaknesses in order for you to, for it to come to the surface so you can solve it. This is one way. I feel like this is the major way that they're going to do it. And then secondly, is this energy of tapping into earth energy in order to ground ourselves out, in order to take the time to perceive ourselves and how we fit in. It takes time to process that. And this is time that most people aren't taking, and it's very much hindering our progress forward. And again, the fish here are a symbol of diving deeper into our emotions in order to really figure that out. One, they're going to need that emotional center for empathy and sympathy for people outside of us. That has to be developed. Secondly, that is about simply... if we are in want of something, we are in need of something more greater, we have to bring it out first, and therefore then it will be matched. So there's sense here, we're looking for something we can't find. Well, it's because we haven't looked within ourselves to bring it out first, if that makes sense. Yeah, and those fish swimming in the depths there is just kind of like, we have fins, we can go down there. But we're choosing not to. We're choosing to stay on the top. They're going until now. Where, because a lot of these things are going to come at us in a way that we have no choice but to look at. Because we really have put... I feel like half the Sagittarians are advanced, half are not. Are on the other end. It's a belief system. They just don't believe in this stuff. So... And it makes sense because it usually ends up at the end of my readings. Like when I go by the number of clicks. That's how because the more popular viewers, then I put those ones first, and the ones that aren't so popular in the back, because that's just the way I do it. And yeah, it makes sense here, and it is because we're just less interested in that. We're more interested in our physical world and the activities that we do and the adventure that we're caught up in, the activity in our physical realm, that we just don't have time for the spiritual stuff. But it is going to be a hindrance if we do not have some kind of attachment to that. Attachment, knowledge of it, to move forward, because it will be quite... yeah, things just won't go our way. And so anyway... The Sag very much in a slower energy, so they're able to absorb, they're able to see, and now the universe is going to start bringing in the characters and making you see exactly, because these people will say what's on their mind. They will reflect back to you. Boom! I don't like when when you do that. It's insensitive, or whatever the thing may do. They'll be fronting you with all of this over this month, and in the future as well. Depends how much, how triggered we are, how much we react to this trigger and fix or want to mend that. Meaning, do we look to ourselves or do we just disregard? If we disregard and move on, you're just going to keep getting an endless line of people that are going to bring up the same issues, and then you're going to run out of people. No, they're going, no, we'll never run out of people. We'll just continually be looping in that energy. So that's a cycle that we want, they want you to see. Sorry, my squeaky chair. So on the Queen of Earth, as we get into the second row here, the House of Night cards, we get 36 talking about differences. Black and white cat, apples and oranges. Queen of Earth, we are in a collected energy. Very zen for really what's going on. We may start to see differences outside of us. Now, this is part of that universal energy coming to show you that not everything is the way that you see it. To show you the variety, show you the differences. I feel like that's the universe going, see, it's not everything is in this way. We need to open our mind to all of this. We need to be more open, really, open-minded, open-hearted, open. So the differences card seems to send that vibration outward on top of that calm energy, or that state that we're in, where we're more calm than we usually are. The Scribe, what do we get on there? Again, note-taking mentally. We're taking notes. We may not be physically writing, or we may also be physically writing things down. But we're taking note of certain things in our life here, and we're going to use that to go forward. On top of that, we got letting go. And yeah, and again, there's an energy here of, I don't know if it's perfectionism or just we have a closed view of our world, and we think everybody should be like us, and that's it, you know, and a rigid sense of that. There's a sense of that I'm getting here. It's like, why isn't nobody like that? That's not right, that's not right. But if we actually look at everybody and the whole scheme from a higher vantage point, we'll see things different. But we're really got a monocle on here, and we're just looking at one little fine, minute point. So therefore it could be very rigid and very unreasonable to others outside of that. And they want you to open up to that in some kind of way. Again, belief systems here are highly pushing us to devolve, okay? So letting go, we may have to let go of some belief systems in order to evolve forward, in order to understand the information we're getting, in order to answer questions, okay? Four of Water, we have success. So the Four of Water really is speaking to holding up that mirror to reflect, one, how our behavior affects us and affects others, because we're not looking how it even affects us. We're just reacting. So we need to look at how it affects us in and amongst everybody, and how it affects everybody in and amongst our groupings. This is what's going to garner success for them in this way, is the self-reflection, and also the triggering that's going to happen with the soldiers that come marching in. I'm using metaphors here, but people are going to start marching in your life that are going to trigger all of your weak spots that the universe wants you to, wants one, to highlight to you, and two, for you to tweak. And what's the word? Not compensate, but change. What's the word? I don't know what the word is, but anyway. Compromise, that's the word. To compromise yourself in that way. To become more open to. Okay, universal energy. These cards that I have, the Tarot of the Divine, is really the divine energy coming through here. So I'm going to label it as that as we go on the differences. And again, the cool, calm, collected way that we're going forward. We have the Five of Cups. This is interesting because the Five of Cups is about disappointment, sorrow, regret, these kinds of things. When we have a cool, calm, collected energy, regret and sorrow was furthest thing from there. But we may have been in a scenario where we had too many differences from a partner. This was disappointing to us. Could have been a partner, could have been a friendship, could have been any direction, really. There's something here about the differences within a partnership that was disappointing. But nonetheless, we're keeping a level head about things. That's really what I'm getting. So on the Scribe, and the fact that there's things here that we're going to need to let go of. The rigid, I feel a great rigidness here, of wanting to open up to any of this spiritual area, and they're going, this boundary has to be let go, because we really don't understand the consequences of locking the spiritual area out. This will really hinder us to a degree, to incapacitate us, so we can't move, can't evolve. So we don't want that. So we got to let go of some boundaries here in that way. And also, you know, if we got disappointment here with the Five of Cups, it could be about letting go of a person or a place here, meaning like a job or some kind of a thing here we had to let go of. On top of that, we get the Chariot. Chariot is about fast movement forward. There's a lot of turbulent water here. Challenging is what I get. And I feel like this is the energy of the Sagittarius. Taking note of all of this. Noting what's going on here spiritually, but I feel like it may be a challenge as to how to truly fix it, or truly compromise here, or truly what they need to do about it. They don't know. I do get a sense, though, of a viewpoint here that is so rigid that we just cannot accept other people for their faults. So either we're overjudging people, or very cantankerous, or just can't accept people at face value. This kind of thing is something like that needs to be cracked open to a higher degree. So there's that. Okay. On top of the Four of Water here, the universal card is the Two of Swords. Two of Swords, again, I shuffle all these cards. Two of Swords about indecision. Now, it's interesting to me they have a congratulations here on top of the mirror, looking at ourselves. So there is a sense that we are notarizing, like seeing what's going on here. We know that, okay, yeah, I'm being this, I'm being that. And that congratulations to the calm sense of self and the analytical. But the Two of Swords is the inactivity, unable to make a decision as to what to do about it, is really what I'm getting here. Because the fire, the flames, just, they strike me highly in this Two of Swords as the action, and is to refuse to take action, and even so is to close her eyes. So there's a sense here we're opening the door to universal energy, or again, there's a high resistance here, the Sagittarian, to accept any instinct whatsoever. Even though subconsciously they play into it, they would never give it credit in that way. They would just say, I thought I would. Because they're disconnected from it. They don't realize what's what up in there. Which is kind of hard when you're first learning who's who and what's what. What's me and what's my thought and what's my intuition and what's... It can be confusing. So here, there's no levels. There's just me, and that's it. So that's really what they need the Sagittarius to look at. Is not only is me in an intuitive sense, there's more out there, but me and the way I work in society, there's more out there, that we need to expand our energies in that way. So I think the congratulation comes in to a degree, is notifying at this time, keeping a cool head at this time, and being able to notice these things. But then right after the congratulation, we have a stalling energy of Two of Swords, which is brewing action that wants to happen, but unable to make a decision. Because the thing is, we know the information's there. We just don't see the importance of it, right? And this is all, when we're in that mode where we're not accepting energies or seeing spirituality for what it's worth, it's almost like we cannot not abide by it, but we cannot, if we don't accept it, then how can we utilize it? And this is really what's going on. So they're accepting that there's something here. They're perceiving themselves, and a lot of times it is themselves looking at the situation. But there's also intuitive nudges that are filtering in, and these are being disregarded. But they're congratulating you on looking at yourself. And they're going, no action, we'll deal with that later. So as we go to the last row here, on top of the Five of Cups, we get the Strength card. 8 from the Chakra Wisdom. Yeah. We have gained strength with dealing with disappointment in this way. We've managed to keep our head, is what they said, through all of this. So that also, they're going, congratulations goes back to that as well. There are too many differences in either a partnership or job or situation here that, to make things work in the long run here. So it is for our highest good that it happened. We understood this over a certain amount of time. So we gained strength having known this, okay? We understood from a deeper vantage point. Now, it might have been our partner that clued us in to that, because the sense is, you know, yeah, something brought this about. This calm, cool, collected. I feel like whatever happened here or released, it released, and then we may have had a talk or a conversation or a realization that certain things just weren't meant to be this way. So it's for our betterment that we go, this is how we're gaining our strength, okay? Now the Scribe, again, there's things here that need to be let go of. The Chariot is about fast movement. Choppy waters is what I was getting. So, and then we have the Queen of Swords. Now, note taking note in our mind. They're going, yes, just in our mind. This person is not, they do not feel it will benefit them to sit and analyze too much. Though they are doing this at this point, they are in a different energy zone, right? We're in the Queen of Cups, or sorry, the Queen of Pentacles, coins, calm and cool. So it's not, we're not agitated like we need to be somewhere. Oh no, we're okay. We're just thinking about things, and things are calm and quiet. There's an energy here of letting go that is sitting heavy. We're working our way through that. The Chariot is about movement forward. I feel like that's the Sag wanting to move forward here and go and conquer more. So there's an energy of revving back up again, okay, in the Chariot. And then on top of that, we get the Queen of Swords. Now, Queen of Swords is an air, can be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But overall, the characteristics of the air sign is very someone that has been through a lot of strife and strain. They have been through a lot in their life to the degree they do not let people just come and go as they please. You have to have a purpose to come to her, and you have to pass, you may have to pass a few tests in order to gain entrance to her kingdom, because she is very guarded, and she does this to protect all that she has. Now, Queen of Swords can also be the, what do you call that when your husband's dead or whatever? There's a word for that. She can also symbolize a woman that is lost a partner. So is to death here. Not very eloquent with my words today. But anyway, she can symbolize that. And again, the depth of pain here that we're dealing with in the Queen of Swords. Now, this also could be an energy that you are carrying yourself. You could have been through a lot here, dealing with a past relationship. And even though we got a cool head at this point, we are going to be very guarded in the future if anything comes forth. So again, the Chariot is urging to go forward. And the Queen of Swords really stops the foolishness. Like, there will be no foolishness. You come at me and you either make sense, and if you don't make sense or you're immature, you must go. This kind of thing. So yeah, this could be your energy, or if you're masculine, I feel it's an energy coming upon you. If you're feminine, I feel it is part of your energy as you go forward. You're going to be quite guarded. Okay, so in the last row here, again, dealing with the mirror and looking at ourselves and how we fit into the scheme of things. Congratulations for your efforts up to now. You have really come above and beyond what our original character could have pulled off, because there's some realizations here spiritually, no less, whether we want to acknowledge them or not. They are changing the way that we do things. So there's a sense of that happening. And then the Two of Swords is unable to make a decision and go outward. On top of that, we get the Five of Wands. Yeah, and that's about struggle and strife. But again, the Five of Wands is interesting, because I had it in the Aquarius reading, and there's quite a little story behind it. Here I'm getting a different energy. I'm getting a sense here that we want to be admired. The Five of Wands is always about struggle, so I'll leave that there. And the sense here is we may be caught up in our ego a little bit here, because the Five of Wands deals with, because I'm seeing this blonde as suddenly as the center of attraction. And it's like either we want that to such a degree, or something to do with the ego here. We're unable to take action forward. They're splitting the masculine and feminine energy here. Just give me a minute. If you are a masculine, you are waiting or wanting to go outward and show off. This may create havoc for you in a way that this mirror, right? You may go off and kind of, how do you say? I'm losing my words today. Not porcupine. Peacock. You may go forward and peacock a little bit to get some attention from the opposite, and really what you're going to get is feedback that we're not expecting. I'll put it that way. And that's the need, again, to look at how we are going outward. We're a little transparent to everybody else, but we don't think we're being transparent. This kind of thing. There's something going on here in that way. We're wanting attention from others, but really what's going to come off is a different kind of that. Okay, so beware of that. It's interesting because there's an inability, the Two of Swords, an inability to make a decision, an inability to make action, but we want to be admired for our beauty, really, is the sense I get. I want to be admired and looked at and you know, da-da-da. That's the masculine. Now the feminine, I feel, again, in a grounded energy, dealing with some disappointment in the past. We're gaining strength and momentum forward because we're looking at how we do and what we do and who we do with. But there's a great energy of wanting to go forward quite quickly. Now there's Queen of Swords kind of stops dead here. Because when I go to the female, the Queen of Swords is someone coming at us. At the masculine, this is the energy they carry. But for the feminine, this is someone outside of us, stopping us. Okay, just give me a minute. And then as we go into self-reflection, we start to make some realizations. Yeah. And it is more of an outward struggle for the feminines here. We are going to be putting off an energy unbeknownst to us, okay? This is complex. As a feminine, we're going to be going outward to garner. Not garner. We are sitting in an energy field of calm and relax, okay? We're also disappointed. We're dealing with our emotions. We're trying to let go of things in our past. We want to pummel forward through the Chariot. And then we hit this Queen of Swords energy. She stops us dead here in our tracks. So this is someone that either comes forth, a friend, but I see it as a boundary. Because the Queen of Swords, she stops dead. Okay, we have to deal with the truth here. What's the truth? But I don't get a feeling that she's really avoiding truth. May not be seeing all of it, but I don't think she's avoiding it or being in any way trickery, in any kind of trickery kind of way. Man, sorry guys, there's just something here they're trying to get me to say, and I'm just struggling with it. Because it's the feminine. They're going, no, that's not the man. No, that's the feminine. So I have to split it up. The masculine is looking for an ego boost. That's really what he's doing. He's hurt, and he's going outward to look for others to stroke his ego, to bring him back up. He don't feel, there's some decisions he needs to make. He don't feel good enough to make them, so he needs others to pump him up, and then he'll go and make decisions after, okay? That's the masculine. The feminine is much more complex. Again, she's trying to deal with her pain. It's not going so well, but she's gaining strength and momentum. She's letting go of things in the past and also wanting to move forward. But unlike the masculine, she realizes that fire that I have burning to go forward, it may not be in my best interest to do this. She is quite guarded. But it's like that is the block. The Queen of Swords, no, I will not go. The masculine pushes through that Queen of Swords and said, yes, I will go. And feed my ego, please. And can you get me some ice cream while you're there? While you're there at the fridge, you know? it's like the man is not ashamed to bring in, you know, pull. But the feminine is having resistance to pulling in energy at this time, which is not bad. Okay, I don't know if I'm getting too deep here. They're like, keep going. Now we get into the feminine, right? She's blocked by this Queen of Swords. So that's her inner thought process saying, I've been hurt here. And I got some boundaries here, and I got to keep them up. Masculine's going, I don't care. I'm just going forward. Just feed me. She's going, I don't want to be fed. I'm not hungry. I got to look at myself. There's things here I got to deal with. Masculine, not dealing with none of it. Okay? And I feel like the congratulations, too, goes to that feminine that's looking at things and going, wait a minute. They realize the feminine is I hate to say, is more mature energy. And they realize that if they go forward in this energy, it's not going to work. One, because they're not emotionally up to par. So going outward in there is futile. And secondly, they just realize that you could just feel it. It's not going to work. No matter. I have to get to a point where I want to be. And I'm not there yet. So again, reflecting on the self. The Two of Swords for the feminine. This is the only reading where they've broken the masculine and feminine down to this degree. So I'm just trying to... I think the decision here for the feminine Sagittarian that they're unable to make or they refuse to make is to go outward. I feel like they're going, I don't know, I don't have to make... I mean, the masculine is made a decision not to do anything, either in a way of... but they're not above accepting a stroke of an ego here, where the feminine is going like, no, I don't, no. I just need to sit. You know, the Five of Wands. Now, because of the energy field the female is in, where she is kind of like, no, something's off. It's going to take her out of that queen of earth energy. And it's going to bring her into this Queen of Swords, which is more of a cantankerous energy. Okay? And then that brings you to the Five of Wands. And this is in her social circles it's going to reflect. Because she's realizing there's something here I'm not dealing with. There's something I got to get underneath. There's something. And she's going to start working on that. And figuring it out. Now, we may not figure it out this month. We may not even get it in this month. But the female, at least, is going to search for it. The masculine is going to reroute and bring his ego out and just go outward. You know, pay attention to me. Stroke me. Be with me. This kind of thing. Very much a needy, codependent behavior from the masculine. The feminine is individualizing herself, doing what she needs to do, and looking inward and going, no, I have to deal with myself. I have to deal. So they are going to do the right thing. Now, whether that's circumstance or choice, depends. But I feel for the most part it is their choice to choose not to. But in the social circles, it's going to create havoc, the Five of Wands, because of the edginess that they carry. And the Queen of Wands can be quite heartless. She opens her heart when it is allowed. She don't just give up her heart and wear it on her sleeve type thing. She's very guarded of it, and she only gives it to those that are deserving. And this is really what she's trying to figure out here. The masculines go, no, bring it in, bring it all in. Let me see. Oh, I'll see if this fits. So he's wearing his heart on his sleeve. And it may not be his whole heart either. Like, because he's on the surface. So it ain't no big deal, right? I hate to put it this way, but this is really what's going on. The masculine, he ain't diving deep. He ain't snorkeling. He's just on the top with a buoy. You know, he's sitting in the buoy and he's just relaxing with a margarita. And he don't need to come up for air. He don't need to think about anything. He's just enjoying the sun, right? But the feminine is diving deeper. She's going farther. And she's really trying to figure out how to solve this in her own way. And therefore, she will not allow anybody to just come in willy-nilly. Whereas the masculine is going, oh yeah, and bring your friends. And your friends' friends. And your friends' parents. Bring them, anybody. Just bring it in. And you want to compliment me? Compliment me. So they're really on the surface. So that's the difference between soul work from the top level of your emotions, meaning, or how do you say, from the depths of your emotions or from the surface of your emotions. Wow, that was heavy. The feminine's got a lot of work behind her. She may not figure it out in this month, but she knows it's there. And you know what? Those Sagittarians, man, when they pull back that bow, as soon as they find their target, it's right dead center. They will find it. And the guy, well, he's out in the bush somewhere looking for his arrow. He don't even have an arrow to shoot. So they're on different levels here. Sorry if you're masculine, but it's true. This is the energy I'm picking up. And again, it may not be everybody's energy, but it's what's going on. This male is lost in it, and part of it, again, is the belief system. So if you don't have no guidance system, no map, you're going to be wandering. And this is what he's doing. He's just wandering. So this is what's going on. The female, she's got the map. She may not have the compass, but at least she got the map. And there's ways that you can figure out where the sun and shadows and all that. You know what I'm saying? She's going to figure it out. It's just going to take her a little time. The guy, he just has no clue. But, you know, that may be further down the road. Hopefully it's next month. Hopefully it's in this lifetime so that he can figure it out and get somewhere. Because there's a need to reflect on our behavior in order to get what we want outside of us. Because if we do not change our behavior, we're not going to get what we want outside of us. This is the bottom line for the masculine. The feminine, she's on her way to figure it out. I feel no need to go any further than what I've said. The Zodiac card for Sagittarians, both masculine and feminine. Like I said, they didn't break down the masculine and feminine this much, to this degree, in the rest of the readings this month, but no less. Eclipse in Libra, 31, talking about rebalance, reevaluate relationships, justice, and fair play. This is truly what the feminine is doing. They are changing their behavior as they go outward. Yeah, rebalance. There's something out of whack here, and we got to fix it. The feminine's on their way. Masculine couldn't care less. He's not interested in balancing anything out. As long as I get what I want, I'm good to go. 3 and 1 makes 4. 4 is about stability. So in order to gain stability, we need to figure this out. We need to work with balance and fair play within relationships. And maybe the masculine is just okay with being, how do you say? He's really okay with being over, how you say? There's a sense that the masculine is soaking up more than he gives. And he's okay with that. And if the person's not okay, then I move on to someone who is okay. This is what's going on. But eventually that just doesn't pay off in the end. And this is what he needs to evaluate. The justice and fair play within. It's eclipse in Libra, so it is a choppy energy of stop and start. I feel like for the masculine, it's their ego getting in the way here. They really just don't see it. And again, universe is gonna send you mirrors like you have no idea. So they're really gonna, it's gonna be, you're gonna feel what others felt having to deal with you. And you're not gonna like it, but it ain't gonna go away until you fix it. This kind of thing. This is really what I'm getting. So that's a rebalancing, okay? The TLC for the soul. What do we get? Sing your song. Okay. Transform your worries into love notes for your divine friend to offer to the world. Let your deepest feeling inspire the composition of new harmony. Recognize this as another form of the sacred expression of your soul's desire to remember the answers to life's most important questions. Why am I here? Am I living according to my true nature? Am I offering enough love to a torn world? Inspiration is seeking you in order to transport your heart out of its slumber of forgetfulness into the beauty of your spirit's true song. And I feel like that's kind of an extension of, you know, again, there's an energy here of stopping to smell the roses. But unless we use that information that we see there to make our lives better, nothing is going to change. And this is, the sing your song is kind of like, why am I here, right? Why am I here? I don't know that a lot of the Sagittarian males are coming from this, right? Why am I here? Oh, I'm here to work and da da da. Like a very, an energy of just getting to business. Get to business, you know? So there's inspiration here, wanting to connect, is what this card is saying. And it's there to transport your heart out of its slumber. And that's exactly what I was getting as well, is that we put our heart away and then we want to go outward and have people love us. This doesn't work. We have to give in order to get. If we don't understand this, we're going to be illuminated. That's really what it is. Over this time, this month, they're going to illuminate that so we can rebalance things and make changes if we so, if we so seek, or if we so choose. Yeah, wow, that was a heavy reading. Okay, Sagittarian, they are the males. They're very much in a zone. It's hard stuff here that we're getting into. They put off the spiritual stuff to the bitter end, and now the universe trying to deal with these guys that just have no respect for the spiritual end. Really, is what it is. No respect, no belief, no nothing. So it's hard to get in there when there's no room for it. So this is really where the universe is going to show them where it's at, and then hopefully they'll make adjustments as they see. Again, it's a good sign that these the Sag is getting into a zone here where at least they're slowing down enough to witness. Because if they're just going, they're just tromping over people and they're just chasing arrows and, you know, not getting anywhere. But they have slowed down, so this is a good sign. So hopefully that will help you over the month. Sagittarius, that's your reading for March 2021. Take care, have fun, and be kind.